FSU football will be headed across the ocean for a game in 2024. And the brand that is already one of the biggest in the nation will be on the world stage to open that college football season. Florida State's going to play a Week 0 game against Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland to begin the 2024 campaign. I'm super excited about this. I'm not sure what your thoughts are. Let's talk about it down in the comments. Let me know if you're excited. I'm going. I've already tried to start to look at flights aren't available that early, but I've started to try and look that up and try and get out there. Really, really cool news. Maybe a once-in-a-lifetime experience to see your team play in another country. The NFL's big on this and does a lot of games in London, done some stuff in Germany, Mexico, other places. This is going to be really, really cool. I've always wanted to go to Ireland, so this is a fun one for me. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Big picture, though, for the Noles, this is massive for a few reasons. Let's jump right into them. Number one, brand. Brand. Michael Alford, Florida State's athletic director, who is a friend of this show, and we've had on several times, in fact, just a few weeks ago, has chatted with us about not only being a national brand, but being a brand that is very, very recognizable and one that everyone's aware of and everyone knows of. Well, you want to increase your brand a little bit. You want to take it past that national stage. Let's go international, and let's go to a completely new fan base, people, country, all of the above, and let's spread the Florida State brand over there. I'm excited for it because I do think this is going to be a really, really good opportunity to go to a different people group, go to somebody, fans that are very, very passionate about the sports that are very big in Ireland, like soccer, obviously, and introduce Florida State football over there. I don't know that, we come away with millions and millions of Irish fans, but I do know those people are very, very passionate. I know that Florida State's going to be pretty good for the foreseeable future, and going over there and putting up about 50 points in Ireland should be a lot of fun for those folks to see. The other side of this is we talk about conference realignment all the time. How do things impact the SEC, the Big Ten, this, that, and the other? Well, I do think that if you are a brand that is playing on a world stage, that is recognizable. That is something that's very, very big. Why do you think the Bucks continue to go across the pond and play overseas? Why do you think the Jags continue to do it? They are building that brand there. I think this probably says something to the SEC and the Big Ten as well about the brand that Florida State carries and what they have. Recruiting is certainly impacted. I know that this might be a stretch. You guys may or may not agree with this, but I'm going to tell you, it is 100% fact. A lot of kids that we recruit and a lot of kids that go to different colleges never leave their hometowns. They never leave the state that they live in. That's changing some with travel becoming so affordable, so easy these days. You can jump on a flight and be in California for less than $300 or $400 round trip, but it is something that is changing. Most kids that we're recruiting are not in other countries. They're not getting all expense paid trips to Dublin, Ireland. This is a huge recruiting win, a huge recruiting tactic to talk to the kids, whether it be transfer portal or recruiting classes in high school, about where Florida State is going next year. If you got a kid that's on the fence, you don't think Mike Norvell's telling him, hey man, you want an all expenses paid trip over to Dublin, Ireland this year to play football? I think that's pretty special. I think that's pretty cool. You don't think some fifth-year senior that's been playing in the middle of the Mountain West Conference that we won on the offensive line here, there, or wherever won't be excited about this when we go in the transfer portal next year looking for guys? I think it's pretty cool. It's certainly a recruiting selling point. It's certainly something that Mike Norvell, Michael Alford have thought about and will be used coming up here. This is big for FSU from a schedule strategy perspective as well. It's not just about recruiting, the brand, conference realignment, all that. It's big from that schedule strategy perspective because you're not losing a home game. You were scheduled to play on the road at Georgia Tech in 2024. Michael Alford has, again, come on this program, Florida State's athletic director, and talked about how he wanted to have more big games in Doak Campbell Stadium. We play LSU this year. We played them last year. A lot of fans probably wish that was a home and home. And I completely agree. I think that it's a little bit of a disservice that we had to go to New Orleans, though that's a fun city, and the fact that we have to go to Orlando. Those games should have been in Baton Rouge and Tallahassee. Michael Alford understands the importance of not losing home games, and so you're losing a road game at Georgia Tech, where Florida State has struggled on the road in Atlanta the last few times they played there. I was there in 2016 for the block. I know I don't want to talk about it. I was there when we played Houston. And I think that moving out of Atlanta and not playing as many games there is probably a welcome sight. You have a really good chance to go out and get a win against Georgia Tech, right? You're not having to play in Atlanta where you've struggled. Florida State's going to be pretty good this year. We'd expect they'll be pretty good in 2024 as well. I know that they'll have a lot of pieces to replace, but with the upward trajectory, I do believe the Noles will be pretty good. And Georgia Tech may be able to rebuild by then and may be pretty competitive, but I still like the Noles to go out and get a win in Ireland. We're not going to do a preview for the 2024 opener yet, but I think that's a good chance to go out and get a fun win on the road in Ireland. You'll also get, because it's international, a week 0 game. And you saw how that benefited FSU this year. The second bye week is huge. And when you're talking about what the schedule is going to look like in 2024, you're going to get some of your bigger games at home, Florida, Clemson. You do have to go down to Miami, but you get some of your bigger games at home. You get that second bye week. The schedule in 2024 with the 12-team playoff opening up could be pretty advantageous now that you're losing a road game and getting that second bye week. The party aspect of this and the experience aspect of this are probably what I'm most excited. I saved them to the end of this video because I know you guys want to talk about the football impact and the news impact, but I think the party experience of this is pretty fun too. Again, probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you to be able to go and see your team play in another country. Again, if you're an NFL fan, you've maybe had that opportunity to go see whether it be the Bucs or the Jags or the Cowboys or some of the different teams that have gone across to play in London, Germany, Mexico. There have been some opportunities there. But college sports, it just doesn't happen as much. You don't see this happening very often. You don't get to see Florida State, Florida, Miami, Notre Dame, different teams doing this all that often. I think it's something that's really unique. I think it's something that's really special. And I know that if you're tuned in here watching this, you're a diehard FSU fan. Maybe you're a Georgia Tech fan watching this for the updates as well. Hi to you guys. No offense to saying that we're probably going to win that game, but we probably are. But again, welcome to the channel. I think the aspect of doing something that's once in a lifetime, getting to go experience this game in another country is really, really special. Atlanta's awesome. Atlanta's a really fun city. It's not as cool as going to Dublin. Let's go to Atlanta for the playoff this year or next. The tailgate that we're going to throw is going to be nuts. Guinness beer at a tailgate sounds absolutely ridiculous. It sounds really, really heavy. It sounds like a lot of you guys probably won't even make it in the game. So maybe pace yourselves and start preparing before we even get there. But I do think that the tailgate will be a ton of fun. Imagine going and tailgating in Dublin, Ireland for a college football game. That's ridiculous. That's absurd to even think about. I don't know. That's just kind of nuts, isn't it? All of our friends will be there, I'm sure. Gramco, Bay Cannon, SOF Brewing. We'll have to take a bunch of Garnet and Gold, green swag, get all the St. Patrick's stuff day out now and get it ready. Go order from Garnet and Gold with your code NOSLAW, NOSLAW. Get your Garnet and Gold green stuff now, your Seminoles gear. But we're excited for it. I think it's a lot of fun. Wanted to come and just talk about it. Wanted to, again, get your thoughts. I want to hear what you think about Florida State going over to Ireland. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and let's talk about it. Of course, always a big shout out to our friends over at Gramco. If you've watched this far, you are a diehard, so you support the channel, and we appreciate you. Make sure that you're shopping at Gramco using code TJ25. That's TJ25 for 25% off all of your Delta 8 needs, whether you're looking for vapes, pre-rolls, gummies, hard candies, you want a quick mix, whatever you're looking for in the Delta 8 world, they've got you covered. If you watched this video and you enjoyed it, make sure that you go check out what's going on in spring camp and in recruiting. I'll link both those videos above. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll talk to you soon. To the luck of the Noles, go Florida State.